It's okay.
Philip Waller, the director of Extinction Soup, is with me. And after watching the film, it had a lot to do with what I'm currently working on. So I want to take the opportunity to ask you a few questions. It was really easy for me to get stories. Sadly, it was easy for me to get stories of things that are going wrong in shark conservation, ocean conservation, politics. However, you guys ended on a positive note. Can you tell us about how things went for you in Hawaii?
Well, I guess, the hardest thing is, I guess with any story that you tell is that there's always an arc, and I think what we did, whether it was a positive or a negative, we just gave it the time to kind of just see where it went. And so originally the bill was kind of a part of the story, but we weren't actually probably going to be able to see it through because it looked like it wasn't going to pass. So we were just going to kind of finish it and just sort of let it play out. But yeah, we kind of just saw it through, and I think we kind of just got lucky. And because we got lucky, I think that we were able to kind of show that win. But I think it's really important for films just in general to come with an optimistic view as opposed to, I guess, a realist view, because I think that the more that we can be optimistic in what we make, in what we hope to see, I think that really makes a huge difference at the end of the day.
I guess what bothers me is that you won a major battle, but really the battle's just begun.
Absolutely.
What comes next?
I think the main thing is politics is such an unsexy thing, I think, at the end of the day. And the more that we can inspire people to go out and talk to their congressmen, their House of Representatives, their senators, to have legislation passed, and then to not only have it passed, but to be able to make sure that it's able to be enforced, I think that's the main thing. So if we could get people to stop watching like the Kardashians and all of these other reality shows and actually get engaged in, things that are important, I think that would really make a huge difference.
When we were fighting for AB 376 here in California, we had a lobbyist step in and use the culture card, much like you did. Is there a paper trail of the finning industry or the fishing industry getting that guy to come in and play that culture card?
Absolutely, especially in Hawaii. But the great thing is even when they try and play that card, if you have enough people, they put pressure on the politicians, and the more people that you can have stand up, it doesn't matter how many lobbyists there are or how hard they come with all of their money and their power and everything to that nature. I think that if you can get the word out and get enough people energized, I think that politicians have to listen to their constituents, and I think that that's really what it comes down to.
You're doing a good job of being positive, so I'm going to keep throwing negative at you.
Yeah.
You can bounce it back at me. So Western Australia is obviously very upsetting for shark advocates. And here's a country where the law was already passed. This place is already supposed to be established as protecting these animals. And then you've got a politician who comes in and just amends the law in order to push his agenda. That makes me feel a little hopeless, to be honest. What's your take on what's happening in Western Australia?
I'm not a biologist, I'm not a scientist, I'm a filmmaker. And for me, especially when I found out all the facts, actually just recently, about what's going on in Australia, it was really fascinating to me, just in the sense where there's only been 7 people killed in the last 4 years. Now, if filmmakers and people just focused on that, every single thing under the moon kills more than 7 people in 4 years. So I think if there was, things on YouTube and things, think of all the spiders and the hippos and, all of these different things that have killed so many more people. If people focused on that, I think it would make all of those politicians look like complete morons. So I think it's really about the angle that we take and how we approach, I certainly don't want to belittle anyone dying from anything, but the amount of people that have died in car accidents from coconuts, 150 people die from coconuts every year, but they're not cutting down all the coconut trees.
Well, the list goes on and on.
Yeah.
What you said is almost the truth. You could probably find a ladybug or something like that.
Completely. And I think once people find out about the truth, because the news sensationalizes it so much, people think that people are dying left and right. So the more that people like you can make things to let people know what the truth is and to show just the ignorance of the politicians, I think that's where the optimism and that's where the wins can really come from.